Hi, I'm Richard Karn, and you may have seen me on TV talking about the world's #1 expandable garden hose. Well, the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead with Pocket Pivot is here, and it's a total game changer. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the Copperhead's Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees for full water flow and freedom to water with ease all around your home. When you're all done, this rust-proof anti-burst hose shrinks back down to pocket size for effortless handling and tidy storage. Plus, your super light and ultra-durable Pocket Hose Copperhead is backed with a 10-year warranty. What could be better than that? I'll tell you what, an exciting exclusive offer just for you. For a limited time, you can get a free Pocket Pivot and their 10-pattern sprayer with the purchase of any size Copperhead hose. Just text WATER to 64,000. That's WATER to 64,000 for your 2 free gifts with purchase. WATER to 64,000.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Pocket Hose. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at pockethose.com/terms.
Ready to make a real impact every day? Join the Active Day Home Care team and help clients maintain their independence in the comfort of their own homes. Make a difference in someone's life as you provide essential daily assistance and protect their health and happiness. Earn up to $20 an hour and enjoy additional perks like optional daily pay, 401k, paid time off, ongoing educational training, and more. Join a team that values care, compassion, and your professional growth. Visit activeday.com to apply.
You're listening to Sweep the League.
Hey, this is George Iceman Gervin, and you're listening to Sweep the League Radio.
All right, welcome to the big show. Rudy Campos Jr. for Sweep the League. Going to be joined hopefully by Coach Gio here in just a little bit. Having some internet issues here, so if it goes off a little bit, we'll be right back for whatever reason. Weather's not cooperating. It's kind of weird. It's really weird, to be honest with you. But nonetheless, we are going to be on live here. If we do go dark, we will come right back. So, again, just giving you the heads up as the internet's acting a little up right now. But, again, Derek Gervin hopefully is going to be back next week. Talked to him earlier today, so we'll have all 3 hosts hopefully back by next week for Sweep the League. And you guys are going to have a full couch here every single night that we can do our show here. Appreciate everybody joining us here. Go to YouTube, search Sweep the League TV, hit that subscribe button. Also, as you can see, TikTok at Sweep the League Radio. We're going to be doing some TikTok live stuff for you guys out there as well. Just got a whole bunch of shit going on. And what's cool about it is before we get into the Pacers and Thunder talk, we had a debut show tonight in Talking Sith with the Sith Lord himself, Elias. He had a tremendous first show. It was him. It was I. He was interviewing me. You guys don't want to miss Talking Sith, which is going to be coming to you hopefully weekly. If not, it's going to be every other week or so when they get their schedule down. That's a fantastic show. I had a lot of fun on it. Also, Grading the Market with Jacob Eric and Anthony on Saturdays at 1 p.m. Another great show. All a part of Sweep the League Network. Don't want to miss it. Go to YouTube, search Sweep the League TV, hit that subscribe button. Let's bring him in right now. It is the man, the myth, the legend, the one guy that makes Sweep the League go every single time he's on. It is the coach himself. Coach Gio, what is up, bro?
Nothing much. Happy to be on, Rudy. You know, I know you're not doing the shows every day now because you've big timed us, but
when did I big time you?
I'm just kidding. I know you're busy at work.
I got work, man. Well, if you can make it every day, then you know what? I'll make an attempt to make every single day for you. Are you going to commit to every day?
Every day? Probably not.
Thousands.
Probably not every day, but
oh, come on, dude. You're going to give me shit about not coming on every day, man.
Well, you know, I have so much.
And shut your mouth.
I have so much PTO I have to use, Rudy. So, you know.
Yeah, you do. You have a lot of PTO right now, man. Leha dudes, oh shit, I'm back in this mother effort. I'll keep it clean in this chat. And Jacob Bear, of course, says, let's get it. Shout out to Leha, MCS General Contracting, proud sponsors of Sweep the League. They do it right the first time, every time, making your dreams a reality. Call MCS General Contracting today, the absolute best in the business. You want to take my word for it? Check out their socials. They just posted a bunch of pics right now of the jobs they completed in not weeks, bro, in days. Days they completed some jobs. So hit up MCS General Contracting, proud sponsors of Sweep the League, man. The Pacers are up 2-1. Surprise or no surprise? Because I'm kind of in the middle of it. I'm shocked, but I'm not shocked. How do you feel about that?
I'm not shocked. I mean, this is a team, Rudy, throughout the entire playoffs who have, I don't want to say overachieved, right? But they have played a certain standard. And, historically in these playoffs, they haven't done too well in the game threes, I believe. But look, they're playing really good basketball, came out. The first half, Rudy, a little shaky there. Couldn't get things going. You could see some, a little bit of leftovers from that game too. But, I mean, the games that they had, from McDonald, from obviously Tyrese came up, Siakam in that first quarter really establishing himself in that game. And then you had, what's his name? The guy who has the double zeros.
Hoppin?
No, is it Macron or?
McConnell.
Yeah. No. The doubles.
Matherin.
Yeah. I always get confused with him. But yeah, so they all played. Already in that fourth quarter, TJ. That steal he had from that inbounds.
It was a couple of steals that he had.
It was a couple of steals, and if you notice, Rudy, it felt like Indiana was playing defense like Oklahoma City in Game 1. All those turnovers. Kudos to Indiana, really keeping the game in hand, and then towards the end of the game, getting it late. But Rudy, if they can find a way to win Game 4,
it's over, right?
Well, I don't want to say it's over, Rudy, because look, 6 to 8 wins, it's got to mean something. They're not going to go out without a fight. But if they can find a way to win Game 4, maybe come back and win Game 6 at home, they don't want to go Game 7 on the road.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you, because I was thinking about this. I had said that if OKC won Game 3, it's over. There's no way Indiana comes back because OKC gets that momentum. Is it different now that Indiana won? Are we still saying OKC has a chance? Because if they win Game 4, which we've said a million times on this show, Oklahoma City's the best team off of a loss. So if they win Game 4, can we still say they've got a chance to win?
Oh yeah, no. It's if Oklahoma City wins Game 4, going back home for some home cooking, they got a great opportunity here. But I think Indiana really has to really hone in and say, hey, we're going to cut the head off the snake in Game 4. If they find a way to win, it would cause some headways, because a lot of people really, including you on this show, pick Oklahoma City to win. I went on a limb. I said, you know what? I live in the Indianapolis area. How about the Pacers? But no, if Oklahoma City wins Game 4, they're right back in it. And for the people who said, I heard a lot of people say a sweep or in 5 games, Rudy.
Oh,
that's all I kept hearing.
Oh no, I had Oklahoma City in 6. I knew Indiana was going to win a couple of games. I knew they were all going to be close games. I figured they all would be, but I had Oklahoma City winning in 6. That means Indiana won 2. Okay, Indiana's won 2. Think Oklahoma City can win the next 3?
I think so. If they can turn it up. Now, Rudy, they got what? Indiana's bench outscored Oklahoma City pretty significant.
Was it like 19-0 at one point?
Yeah, it was. And we've talked about all playoffs, Rudy. The guys that they can throw at you. They got guys on the bench who I think could even play in this series. They just go deep, Rudy, and it's showing right now. I'm telling you, Rudy, and they need to go into Game 4 and say, this is business. We got to cut the head off the snake. And they do that, going up 3-1, in gambling terms, Rudy, it's pretty much house money.
I'm not going to write off Oklahoma City just yet.
No.
I don't think you can. Like you mentioned, 60, as many wins as they have.
68 wins. It's to think that they would lose this series in 5 would be crazy. But we've seen this stuff, Rudy. I always point to that Lakers Pistons. I remember vividly. Yeah. No one really gave the Pistons a shot, including myself.
No.
And they go out there and they went. And I brought up this morning, Rudy, the change in the starting lineup. I thought psychologically was a bit off. And granted, listen, during the season, Rudy, you can do a lot of different lineups because guys are hurt, right? Like, it's completely different. In playoffs, you get to what you got there. And for them to make a lineup change, psychologically, they may have messed something in that psyche. We'll see if they can get it back.
That was more panic, you think, right? I mean, Mark Diagno, the guy, you think he panicked from what he saw with Indiana against everybody else in the East?
I think so. It was kind of odd to see. And we saw it when Avery Johnson, former Spur, Rudy, in that long time ago series, he's making adjustments on an 8th seed, a team that barely got to the playoffs.
Yeah.
And we won't talk about it because the rest is history. But to make an adjustment like that, and if they lose this series, Rudy, not to point at one thing, but we're going to think back and say, could that adjustment psychologically may have messed with, them in the head as well as rotations, right? Because now, certain guys are coming off the bench, this and that. How does it mess with the flow? I mean, listen, we all can just be talking jibber jabber. Oklahoma City wins 3 straight. We'll never think about it again. But, man, where do they go from here, though, Rudy, with that start? Because a lot of times, Rudy, Siakam, SGA is guarding Siakam in the post.
Yeah.
Or you get Dorton there, or you get this guy.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time on a fancy water bottle with ultra titanium alloy metal. You're not sure why you need all that. I mean, it just holds water, but you're getting it anyway. Because if you're hiking near an active volcano and you accidentally drop the bottle into molten lava, your water will still be icy cold. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For water bottles. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
I forgot his name. The guy coming off the bench.
You got Cason Wallace. You've got
you got so many guys coming off the bench, and they're trying to guard Siakam. It's just like, hey, he's bigger than y'all. You do realize that, right? Like, so has Indiana found that matchup already? Because if they can't stop him, I don't know. It's gonna be an interesting game here in Game 4.
Who do you have, truthfully, going into Game 4? It's weird because it's only like a day's rest. It seems like in the finals they get multiple days, but it's a quick turnaround in the finals right now.
I'm gonna go Oklahoma City. I mean, we've seen them bounce back, Rudy. Every time they've lost a game, what happens that next game? Remember, they lost by 40 points to Minnesota, which was, to think, Rudy, a 68-win team loses by more than 40 points in a playoff game.
Yeah.
And then they go on that streak, and then they win the series. We don't think about it again. I'm going to go with Oklahoma City, but my heart is definitely saying, Indiana, hey, you cannot play around here. You have a golden opportunity, Rudy, to really, you know what. So I'm going to go with Oklahoma City, but I'm going to be rooting for Indiana for sure.
I get that, man. I get that. I'm going to go Oklahoma City. I'm sticking with Oklahoma City in 6. So that means they've got to win the next 3 in order to keep my prediction good. Can they do that? I mean, if there is a team that can, it's them. But I'm concerned on the fact of, Sith brought it up a little while ago on his show, and shout out to him. He's in the comments right now. Lehigh saying Pacers are a well-rounded team. And Sith is saying, what's up, y'all? Appreciate it, man. Sith just dropped Talking Sith today a little while ago. Actually, right before this show, it was Talking Sith. Great show. But he brought up a great point. He's like, we were talking about underachieving. Like, the underachiever. And I'll be honest, man, I think Chet and Jalen Williams, J-Dub is both of those guys for the seasons that they've had, they've been almost non-existent in this finals, man. If they can't get going, you're going to rattle SGA more.
Chet did play better in Game 2, Rudy. I believe Game 3, he was fine. I didn't feel his presence as much in Game 2.
Yeah.
Rudy Dort hit a few threes. Rudy, they were hitting threes.
Yeah.
But so was Indiana in that game. And Indiana did some interesting switches on the pick and roll. I really love the flow that they were doing. Now, sometimes, obviously, you get caught up and you maybe got open for three. But I love the intensity on defense. Really, they were everywhere. Like I said earlier, it felt like Oklahoma City in game one, where Tyrese had, that big layup where he's on this guy. He just rushes back. That's how Indiana has to play if they want to win game four. Those small plays, and TJ, Rudy, I don't want to say he was the MVP of that game last night, but he had some really good stretches.
Yeah.
And that 4 points they got because he stole the ball was huge.
Very. Yeah. I talking to Derek, man, I told him, I say, man, I understand you inbound the ball. You get it stolen once. Okay. Mishap. But that happened 3 freaking times last night. You're in the NBA Finals. You have Hartenstein inbounding the ball with one hand. I mean, quit being so nonchalant. There's no tomorrow with this. Like, this is it. You don't have another opportunity next week to, all right, well, we got another 5-game stretch. No. This is it.
This is it, Rudy. This is the NBA Finals. And one thing I want to add, Rudy, as I'm watching SGA, I think he's a hell of a player.
There we go.
But Rudy, I'm watching this game, and it just feels like everything is a foul on SGA. Am I being over dramatic, Rudy? Or are we both watching the same game and maybe I'm just...
That was a lie.
Rudy, I just feel like the man gets to the line way too much. And he's looking. He's turning his head back, which in most cases is most NBA players. But it just feels to me like, Mike, just let him. If they give him a little elbow, that's okay. Just let it call it on both sides at least.
Yeah.
Okay, so I get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying, but is it more of SGA or is it the officials giving it to him?
Well,
if they're going to give it to Gio, if an ATM is going to give you $20 bills every time you go to it when you only want 60, but it gives you 600, are you going to be, you know what? The guy behind me is going to be like, you know what? That's BS. You're giving him $600 and you're not going to take it. SGA's taking everything he can get and he's not going to apologize.
He doesn't. There's a lot of looking on different social media outlets. A lot of people saying he's crying a lot, but it's not just him. It's a lot of players in this league, Rudy, who
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time on a fancy water bottle with ultra titanium alloy metal. You're not sure why you need all that. I mean, it just holds water. But you're getting it anyway, because if you're hiking near an active volcano and you accidentally drop the bottle into molten lava, your water will still be icy cold. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For water bottles. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
As soon as they go up. I mean, James Harden for years still is, but when he was in Houston, really always looking around. Rudy, the NBA needs to, and we've talked about this. They need to make a not a big change. They won't make, but a slight change. Rudy, if they could bring hand check back, oh man, I would love this because it's going to change how people really play in this league. But SGA is going up, and it seems like there's a foul call every second nowadays.
Yeah, every second there's a foul call. Now, is it Bron baiting is what it is? I guess we can call it that. I mean, LeBron's the one that, always wanted the call, was always crying for the call. Did he get fouled? Maybe, one or two times he got fouled. I mean,
SGA is being fouled, but there was a great no call where he's going up. And it was, and he's the one that caused the contact. Yeah. He was the one that ran in, and it was a no call. But SJ's like, but it seems like every player though, Rudy's like, right? It's like, dude, just run back on defense. Don't worry about that. And I get it. Like, you want to get, and there were some fouls that were missed as well. But I just feel like Rudy, there'll be a better flow if they can just allow a little bit more contact.
That's would think.
Just me. Yeah, I mean, you would think, and they do. They allow it, but I want more.
I get what you're saying. It's kind of shitty because I don't find SGA as that LeBron type, that James Harden type of player. I find him, he's a pure freaking scorer. One of the best individual seasons we've seen since Mike. I mean, literally since Jordan.
His jump shot, he's really good. And I know that's just an understatement, but that guy is so good. That team is really good. That's why I was surprised already in game 3 where Indiana they got those hustle points at the end of that game.
Yeah.
And if Indiana wins game 4, Rudy, it's probably because Indiana just wanted it more.
Yeah, definitely saw it last night. And then OKC just looked gassed last night. They looked tired last night, and they played with no energy. There was a lot of times you saw it they kind of were just going through the motions, and that's nothing you want to do.
What adjustments, Rudy, do you want to see from Oklahoma City that you think could definitely help in game 4?
I think probably what I want to see the most out of them is life. Like I said, those inbound plays where they were stolen by McConnell, and I think Matherin had one.
He did.
Toppin, Derek and I agreed, Obi Toppin's dunk on the putback was the nail in the coffin for that game. I mean, you had 4 guys that were supposed to box out, 1 guy, and they didn't even box out. So what I want to see is life. I want to see the effort that you're used to seeing from OKC. That's it. I think if they show that, they win the game.
I agree. Show life. Maybe go a little bit more big, Rudy. Maybe go back to that starting lineup that got you to the NBA Finals.
Exactly.
Because, Rudy, when they go small, and like I said earlier, then you got Siakam out there, SGA's guarding him, a bunch of small dudes guarding him. Something's off. And Toppin, which I think, he can be a little sporadic, but man, when he's on, Rudy,
yeah,
and he's driving through the lane, he's actually a big dude. Like if you just watch him play, it's like Indiana has built this team, Rudy, very, very good. And I'm telling you right now, if I'm Oklahoma City, as you said, Rudy, you're probably a little worried. Just a little.
I'm actually a lot worried, man.
Okay.
Let's appreciate you joining us show after show after show. Good evening again, boys. Yeah, this is my second show in a row. This is Gio's first show here tonight. This is the normal crew for Sweep the League. For those of y'all that are just joining us for the first time, it's myself, it's Coach Gio, it's Derek Gervin, also on the show as well. But we do have everybody else, and Jacob, Eric, and Anthony for grading the market, as well as Sith. He has Talking Sith that was premiered a little while ago before this show. So Sweep the League Network is growing and growing. We got a whole lot more. Appreciate you joining us, Sam Salinas. Actually joining us here. I am very worried, Gio. Like literally worried, because I'll be honest. I see the inbounds. Like I said, I keep bringing the inbounds. I'm like, okay, happened again. It's stolen. Like, what the hell? Happens again. I'm like,
what the fuck?
Like literally, because this isn't the same OKC team that I'm used to seeing all year. Do I think they bounce back? Hell yeah, they bounce back. They bounce back with a vengeance. I really believe that. But if they give the same effort they did in game 3, Pacers in 5. I mean,
would you call it one of the most, if they win in 5 or 6, what would you, from 1 out of 10 upset rating, what would you give it?
10 being the highest, obviously?
Yeah.
If you're a true basketball enthusiast, it's about a 7, 6 or 7. Truthfully, if you threw records out of the, if you threw away the records and you just looked at teams, these are probably the 2 most balanced teams that can go 8, 9, 10 deep bench wise. So I would say you call it an upset. Nobody expected Indiana to be here. But is it a 9 or 10? No, I got it about 7. I mean, it's an upset, but it's not shocking to me. It's not Dirk Nowitzki put everybody on my back, beat Miami's big 3 upset. That's up there. Or it's not Rick Barry with the Warriors literally taking the Warriors from in the 70s and winning that NBA title. I think those are like holy cow upsets. But for me,
I just think
about a 7.
I mean, really think of this. Didn't Oklahoma City just lose to one team in the East this year, I believe? I think it was just one.
Was it? I believe it was one team.
Really, I'm going to go with an 8. I mean, this is a 68-win team, just a few wins away from potentially beating the all-time record. And I know we don't see them as an all-time team simply because
I do. I'll make that case easy for you. I do.
Defensively, I mean, as a defense, it has
both
been
sides, bro.
No, I mean, yeah, but both sides.
Go ahead.
But
I'm going to catch up. Go ahead.
I'm more impressed with their defense already because we talk about how this league has become an offensive-minded league, and what they've been able to do defensively is just suffocate people to death. And it didn't look like that yesterday, Rudy. I'm just, it's very interesting if Indiana wins in 5 and 6, and we step back and say, well, how good was Oklahoma City? But they're definitely are a good team. Rudy, I'm going to go 8. Now, is it Dirk Nowitzki, like you said, over at Miami? No. Though Dallas did win a lot of games, but
yeah, they did.
Definitely not that. Is it 95, Rudy? I think the Rockets were they the 6th seed that year? I believe they were.
Either 6 or 7, if I remember.
6 or 7 seed, and they go on that run. They win the championship. But I'm going to go with an 8 just because of what Oklahoma City did this year on a tear. I mean,
what's worse, this loss or the 70-win Warrior team? They lost to the Cavs.
I'm going to go with that Warriors team.
That was
because they broke the record.
Yeah.
And you had Curry, Thompson, Draymond legit in their like Oklahoma City has some guys. Well, yeah, and yeah. So KD wasn't there yet, right?
On that 70-win team, I'm pretty sure he was. I'll double check.
No, Rudy, I don't know because they got him the next year. Remember, because Draymond went to the Hamptons and he went to go recruit Kevin Durant.
I could be wrong. More than likely, I am wrong.
I think that's the following year because I'll never forget Draymond's calling Kevin. Like someone made a point to say that Draymond called Kevin Durant after that Game 7.
So you are correct. Yeah, no Durant. But even a 70-win team, that's a bigger upset in the finals than Pacers beating the Oklahoma City Thunder.
That's because they were down 3-1, right? I mean, if you look at the stakes, Rudy, being up 3-1, you're like, oh yeah, like this is, and then that block, and then I mean, Kyrie made the shot. I mean, heard across the world. Though LeBron, not to talk about him, but he's had some guys save him, Rudy, on some of those shots. I'm not gonna bring up Ray. Oh, I already did. Ray Allen and what he did.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time on a fancy water bottle with ultra titanium alloy metal. You're not sure why you need all that. I mean, it just holds water. But you're getting it anyway. Because if you're hiking near an active volcano and you accidentally drop the bottle into molten lava, your water will still be icy cold. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For water bottles. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
I know Spurs fans are still wondering, Pop, why did you take Duncan out of that game? And Manu, which, by the way, in that
your role and shut your mouth.
Manu to me looked like a guy who should not have been in that finals. Both him and Kawhi missed free throws at the end of that game. And do you remember, Rudy? The trophy's right there. Yeah. You can literally see it. And the look on my face, death. But anyway, enough about the 2013 Spurs.
Please.
Yeah.
I want the Pacers to win so bad because I think this city deserves it already. Not that Oklahoma City doesn't, but what the state of Indiana has meant to basketball in general, Rudy, it would be really nice to see the Pacers win.
I'm going OKC, like I said, because I picked them at the beginning of the year. I said Oklahoma City was going to win. That was my number one pick. I'm going to stick with it. But to be honest, what I'm glad, Gio, and again, I don't want to sound like old man Rivers over here or anything like that. Jeff's in here. I got to get to his comment in a second. But I'm just glad we got a NBA Finals worth watching. To be honest, I really don't care who wins right now. Indiana wins, fantastic. Oklahoma City wins, awesome, amazing. But this NBA Finals is a basketball lover's dream finals match right now. Two teams pretty much evenly matched. I do consider Oklahoma City as one of the all-time greatest teams, even though they're a 68-win team. This is a team that we have not seen in recent years. And I'm talking probably not since the 90s, maybe. Even maybe before that, the 80s. You're talking about a team that is a massively good scoring team and a massively good defensive team. Spurs teams were great defenders, but weren't great offensive teams. You know, you look at Detroit Pistons, fantastic defensive teams, weren't putting up 100-point games. This team is, it's like pedal to the metal on the offensive side, clamp down on defense on the defensive side. It hasn't been since the Larry Bird, Dennis Johnson years in Celtics where you've seen a team dominate both sides of the ball like that. That's why I've got to put them up there as one of the best teams overall.
Yeah, I mean, look, the NBA has changed. If I was to put the best Spurs team against Oklahoma City, what Spurs team are you bringing to the dance, Rudy, to beat Oklahoma City?
Oh, shit.
At least what year? So it's between 2014, 2003, Rudy, was...
Could you make a case for 99? With Avery being the only weak point. Because you would have Hardenstein and Chet would be dominated by Duncan and Robinson. Sean Elliott against J-Dub, that would be a nice matchup. I think they would kind of equal each other out. Mario Elie makes a huge difference on SGA. Defensively, SGA. So I think 99 could make a small case. It's not my first pick, but it's a small case.
I'm going with 2003, Rudy.
And Sam Salinas agrees with you. 2003.
I think it's the 2003 Spurs. Duncan, obviously MVP. Robinson's last year. The emergence of Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili.
Tony sucked that finals.
Yes. And there were so many rumors of...
Speedy Claxton would have won the game for these guys.
Of Jason Kidd. But I think that's a Spurs team where don't forget, they dismantled the Lakers in 6 games.
They did.
That's the 3-time champions.
Yeah.
2014 has a special place in my heart because, they beat LeBron James in 4 games. But I think 2003 really might... 2005 was a good team, don't get me wrong. Because that's at the height of Manu Ginobili, which is also another good team in that. But give me old three Spurs because Robinson's still there.
So you're taking 03 Spurs? Yeah, we'll go with that. I'll go with 03 Spurs. And like I said, Sam Salinas is actually agreeing with you on that as well. So Jeff's in here. If Indy beats OKC in the finals, will it be the biggest finals upset? We talked about it a little while ago. On a scale of 1 to 10, I've got it at a 7. Gio has it at an 8 as far as upset goes. Not the biggest upset in the finals. I mean, again, a 70-win Warriors team not getting the job done. It compares to like you're right there with your girlfriend and y'all are about to have a little bit of Diddy fun, and guess what? Mom and dad walk in. You just couldn't get it done. You just couldn't get to that point. You came up short.
Rudy, Pistons Lakers, is that a bigger upset to you if Indiana or over Indiana beating?
That's,
because that's Shaq and Kobe. I know, was Carl hurt I think Carl was.
Carl played.
Okay, he did. All right.
So Carl and Gary, but see, that's the problem. You're throwing legend names at the end of their career. So I don't know if I would consider that a massive upset. I think it's more of an upset because nobody gave, like you said, nobody gave Detroit a chance. So I think that's why people consider it a big upset. But Detroit was a freaking juggernaut that year. So I can't say that it's as big of an upset as, I'll say this, Indiana beating OKC would be a bigger upset than the Detroit Lakers, in my opinion. That's just my opinion right there.
I just think for the Pistons to beat Prime Shaq 4-1 in the NBA Finals,
yeah,
and Prime Kobe, I think that's not that the Pistons weren't a good team. Obviously, that they got to the NBA Finals, but we saw what the Eastern Conference really before Detroit. What happened to them? I mean, the Nets were losing, the Sixers, the Knicks.
Yeah,
I mean, it was a tough stretch for the Eastern Conference, but I think Dirk Nowitzki's run might be one of the and we've talked about some of the greatest runs we've ever seen in a championship series. I mean, what that finals, I might have to go back and watch that, but that was such a fun finals to watch. Plus, remember, don't you forget, Rudy, when Dwayne Wade was mocking Dirk Nowitzki?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Yeah. And Dirk laid it out on the line. I mean, he left it on the floor after that. So yeah, I remember that very, very well. Coach Joe, Rudy Campos Jr., Sweep the League TV. Appreciate everybody joining us here tonight. Sam Salinas, I'd say it's only a big upset because the vast majority underestimated Indiana, even after what they've shown in the playoffs. A lot of people say they shouldn't have been there. They got lucky. I mean, possibly, maybe you can use that term, but
do they get past Cleveland, Rudy? If they're at full health?
Oh man,
because I think I picked Cleveland to get to the finals, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, you and I think Derek took Cleveland to the finals. I had the Knicks going to the finals, but
they run out of gas again.
Yeah, shout out to Tom Thibodeau. A healthy Cavalier squad, I'm gonna say no. I don't think they beat Cleveland. Cleveland dominated the East this year. I mean, they just dominated the East. So I'm gonna say no. They probably don't beat a healthy Cleveland Cavalier team. So
I'm probably going to agree with that just because how Cleveland was really, I mean, the second best team in the NBA.
At times the first best. At times the best.
At times the best. But Rudy, in 10 years, we're not going to think about what we're going to think about the great run the Pacers had. We're probably not going to remember, hey, Cleveland didn't have this guy in this game, that guy in this game, or Giannis. If Giannis had Dame, I don't think it was going to matter anyway, Rudy. Really.
The Bucks were out of the equation when they traded for Dame. When they traded for Dame, I think I put in the group chat.
Or when they hired Doc Rivers.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Glenn Rivers, when he was hired, it was over. Not only was it over when Dame got there, they hired Glenn, and oh yeah, it's already done. Over and over with. Hey Gio, is trading for Kevin Durant worth the squeeze for the San Antonio Spurs? Funny because that's
talked about it this morning, Rudy, in our group chat, or actually I think it was last night. I just think it was a little too much. I just felt like it was. I get it. And you made some good points, Rudy. I mean, this is what is he, 37? Might be 38?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time on a fancy water bottle with ultra titanium alloy metal. You're not sure why you need all that. I mean, it just holds water. But you're getting it anyway. Because if you're hiking near an active volcano and you accidentally drop the bottle into molten lava, your water will still be icy cold. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For water bottles. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Was it 2 first-round picks? Sohan, was it Johnson, Vassell?
Yeah. You're gutting your entire team.
You're gutting your entire team for a guy who also works for FanDuel. I'm just kidding. But wow. Yeah, I have a story for that. But yeah, it's just a little too much for my blood, Rudy. A little bit too rich for me to do this trade. I'm going to say no, even though I would love the talent. And we talked about it earlier, Rudy.
What the fuck?
Where does KD rank in our top 10 list?
Well, no, because Derek asked us
Or all-time list.
where do you rank KD all time? And I think all of us, including Derek, had him top 20 minimum. You had him, I think, 14
to 20. I think that's Rudy. That's probably where. Well, us probably have him somewhere in there. We're talking about skill. I mean, the guy is just a phenomenal. Had a really good season with Phoenix, but really to trade all that for, we don't even know what Wemby's going to look like. He's going to be hurt this year. I don't know. I just feel like maybe not yet. Maybe not this guy. Giannis at 30? Okay. We might want to talk. It's a little bit different here, but this guy's almost 7 years older. We might get him for a good 2 years.
It's a little bit different. I'm telling you, it's a little bit different.
I'm a gambling man, and I want a third team in this deal, Rudy. That would have been nice.
That, it's so, to me, it amazes me because we talk about stuff on Sweep the League, and then it's crazy. We talk about it, and all of a sudden, it's reported the next day. It's reported 3 or 4 days later. Even Derek will tell you, like, well, Jesus, man, why don't we talk about it more and more? We just don't talk about it like we should, in a lot of other instances. But I'm telling you right now, the third team is a possibility. We're going to bring that up here in just a minute. But as far as Kevin Durant goes, there's a lot of stuff going on out here. The Suns have obviously Shams and everybody's saying the Suns. There's like 5 teams out there. It's the Heat, the Knicks, the Rockets, Spurs, and Timberwolves, all making a vibe for Kevin Durant right now. I think Kendrick Perkins, according to Jeff Garcia, who reposted it or he retweeted it earlier, that Kendrick Perkins out of those 5 have the Spurs number 5. So is it more that fans are pushing the Kevin Durant train to San Antonio? Because I have yet to see a major media, and I don't consider Kendrick Perkins a major media guy. I haven't seen a lot of major media guys say that Kevin Durant's a for sure deal to San Antonio type thing. I've seen radio guys in Phoenix say it, that they're hinting at it. But honestly, at the end of the day, Gio, if the Knicks, if the Rockets can put a better package, it's almost like you don't care what Kevin Durant thinks. At least if I'm the owner and the GM of the Suns, I don't care. You want me to send you to San Antonio? Awesome. Find me a third team. Make it happen that way. But right now, if the Knicks are going to give me, picks and a bunch of great young guys to help me win right now, I'm going to do it. If the Timberwolves are going to send me picks and Zach Randolph, I need a big man, I might do it. The Rockets send me what they want to send me. If it's better than the Spurs, you think they're going to make that deal, right? I mean, they can't just take the shittiest deal out of all of them.
You would think if I'm ownership in Phoenix, you take the best deal. I mean, Spurs fans, I get it. You get a guy who's a generational talent. He's done a lot in the NBA. But really, if he's 36, 37 years or 37 years old, I don't know how much he has left in the tank, and it's just too much. Give me a third. If you give me a third team, Rudy, then we can probably do something. But just having one team having to give up the yard, no, I don't like that. And if I'm San Antonio, you don't have to make this because you just got the kid from Sacramento. And there's going to be more opportunities upcoming in this draft because, Rudy, for all we know, maybe Dallas doesn't draft Cooper Flag. Maybe we get him. I don't know.
Yeah, it's funny, right? I mean, we've been saying that as much as Dylan Harper makes sense for the Spurs at 2, and it's a done deal, and Dallas is 99.9% chance of taking Cooper Flag. Does he fit Dallas's mold? No, he doesn't. He doesn't fit there. But if you're drafting because of what you need and the fit, Dylan Harper fits in Dallas. He fills a big void there. So, again, until the names are called, we don't really know who's going where. But yeah, I mean, how Cooper Flag could be a Spur. According to Jeff Garcia, too, at Gamboa 987, Durant's supposed to be traded, expected to be traded by next week or during next week. So, a week before the NBA draft is when they're expecting the Kevin Durant deal to come down. 1 through 10, Gio. 10 being a guaranteed damn for sure. Is he a Spur by next week?
No.
What do you put it at? Percentage-wise, what do you give it at? Are you like 40% sure that he won't be? Or are you 100% sure he's not going to be?
I am 85% sure he's not going to be a Spur. Something's telling me, Rudy, that I don't think the Spurs are in the market to trade their whole team, basically, for a guy that we can agree, Rudy.
Yeah.
The leadership intangibles, very questionable. I'm just going to leave it at that. We all know what he's done on Twitter with fake accounts. We all know he comes after random people on X almost every day, it seems like. I don't love his intangibles, Rudy, and I don't know if that would make a whole lot of sense. I love the talent. I think Kevin Durant's a hell. And who knows, Rudy, he might watch this clip and he might tweet at us, right? I mean.
Oh, if that happens.
Hell yeah.
I don't love the intangibles. When he was in in Golden State, Rudy, he had some guy who literally changed the NBA,
Yeah.
you know? And a guy who had 31 points in a quarter.
Yeah. Sure did, man. And I get it, I'm going to say I think it's about 85% that he is going to be a Spur.
Oh, okay.
I think he is going to be a Spur. Not saying that I have sources or sauces or anything. I don't. But just a gut feeling, I think, tells me that they'll be able to get it done. But I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think, and I don't know if this was put in our group chat, but I don't think the offer of Devin, Keldon, Jeremy, and 14, I think the Spurs hang up the phone on that. Now, if you're offering 14 Devin and Harrison or Devin and Keldon, I say you call it in. That makes sense. But this is, again, this is the reason why we talk about it. Kevin Durant's the most popular name out there. Another team came involved a little while ago. Mark Cavazos, appreciate you joining us here. Man, love the love here. Appreciate you going here. Says, I like that kid, Nick Clifford. I like him too. I don't know if 14's too high to get Nick Clifford, but we'll definitely see. I like this. Samson is get it done for Wetter, who we're talking about Kevin Durant. Gio is saying 85% that he feels Kevin Durant will not be a Spur. I've actually got an 85% that he is going to be a Spur, but I'm going to tell you this. That 15% where I think he won't be a Spur, Gio, I think I believe more in that than my 85%. I think I'm buying into the smoke when it comes to the 85%.
Rudy, how about this? How about Lauri Markkanen?
I'm all in.
I'm sitting back thinking, hey, how about go trade for that guy?
I'm all in. I'd rather have Lauri Markkanen. Now, if you get Lauri Markkanen, playoff team. I will gladly give you 48 wins next year. 47 wins. Won't even bat an eye. Gladly do that.
Yeah, Rudy, I would honestly, what is he, 27, 28?
Yeah.
I would honestly have Lauri Markkanen, who had, he averaged, I think, almost 20 a game last year. I honestly really would do that trade.
I wouldn't.
That's something that I would do in a heartbeat, because you got a guy who's very versatile, and you probably, you have to give up something decent, not as much as Kevin Durant.
No. Nope.
Spurs, if you're listening, yeah, we like Kevin Durant. He's a hell of a talent. But I would rather go get Lauri. And yeah, you could say, well, he don't have intangibles either, Gio. Yeah, but you know what? There's a little bit more unknown about him. He's been kind of cast over there in the great state of Utah, and we don't hear anything from him. But I would take a chance, Rudy, on him.
I would take a chance on Lauri Markkanen every day of the week. So Mara saying, so Rudy, how is your deal happening on that 85% trade? What are the Spurs giving up? So for me, we just said, if you're doing a Devin, Keldon, Jeremy 14th pick for Kevin Durant, that's way too much. That's gutting the team right there. I'm not looking at that as saying that's a win right there. What I'm looking at is if you're doing a Devin number 14 and either Keldon or Harrison Barnes, I'm okay with that right there. So that's what I like, the Devin Barnes and the 14th pick for Kevin Durant. That's what I like right there. What do you think? Which one would you do if they had to make the trade? Which one are you in favor of?
But definitely the one you just said, Rudy.
So the Devin Barnes and then the 14th pick. Okay. Yeah.
I'm not in the business of gutting the whole I mean, not the whole team, but basically the whole team. Rudy, I got a question. I saw a report somewhere about Philadelphia trying to move up.
You just brought it up. This is our Cheesemith segment here. Spurs Cheesemith. We got more Cheesemith here. Let's play the Cheesemith icon here.
So, like, I hear about the Spurs this y Spurs that, y como que esto y esta, pero I never hear about the real Spurs Cheesemith. Nime, por favor.
Thank you, Spurs Cheesemith girl. So yeah, you're all right. I'm gonna make it bigger here for you, sir. As much bigger as I can. So Michael Scotto, sources, and just for everybody knows, you know, he's an NBA insider, 64,000 followers, yada yada yada, whatever. He's legit. So he says sources. The 76ers have engaged with the Spurs about potentially moving up to the number 2 pick. For now, the Sixers have zeroed in on 4 NBA draft pick prospects with the number 3 pick, including private workouts with VJ Edgecombe and Ace Bailey visiting Philadelphia next week. So when this happened, it was like, oh, crap, Philly wants number 2. Who can we get from Philly? There's nobody we want from Philly. I like Tyrese Maxey, but 6'2" guy, I don't see that fitting with the Spurs as Tyrese Maxey.
I don't think they'll trade up Brady. I don't think he would. But for the number 2 pick, I like Tyrese a lot. I really do. But in general, Rudy, they don't really have anything over there that I'm interested in. I definitely don't want Joel Embiid.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. But you know, knowing that they brought this up, this wasn't, again, I had to kind of calm certain people down. It says, Mara says, I think the Suns will want Devin in picks for sure. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Samson is, holy crap, that drop was something else. Yeah, that's our Spurs Cheesemith drop. We've had it since the radio days when we were on the radio. So we like to use it from time to time when we do our Spurs Cheesemith. So here's the thing, man. Sam just hit the word that I did. It says engaged. Here's engaged. And yeah, they called the Spurs. That's all they did. They called, says, hey, number 2, we got number 3. We want to move up to 2. More than likely, it's because they want to get Dylan Harper or Cooper Flagg, whichever's available. And that's cool. That's fine. So I started thinking, you know, they just called. They did their due diligence. Everybody's calling the Spurs for 2. But then, Gio, the armchair GM himself, the masterful GM, Rodolfo Campos Jr., said, what if this? I had my, who's this? That Brian Windhorst moment. I was like, wait a minute here. Wait a minute. That Cheesemith girl went to Holmes High School. She did not go to Holmes High School. She lived in Devine. So she didn't even go to San Antonio High School. Here it is, Gio. This was my Brian Windhorst moment. So I said, there's got to be a third team. If Philadelphia is asking and the Spurs are really wanting, there's got to be a third team. Who's that third team? Let's open up the curtains and welcome Mr. Giannis Antetokounmpo back into the mix of things here. Because now
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time on a fancy water bottle with ultra titanium alloy metal. You're not sure why you need all that. I mean, it just holds water. But you're getting it anyway. Because if you're hiking near an active volcano and you accidentally drop the bottle into molten lava, your water will still be icy cold. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For water bottles. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
It makes a lot of sense for three teams. You've got the Spurs that get Giannis. The Sixers get the number 2 pick, Devin Vassell, Harrison Barnes. The Bucks get number 3 and Paul George. Now you're kind of starting to make a little bit of sense when it comes to a 3-team deal. Again, I'm not saying it happens, but if I'm the Spurs front office, I'm saying I need a third team somewhere because there's really nobody on Philly that I want. You have the number 3 pick. Awesome. Give me number 3, but also give me number 1 next year and another one, a year after, whatever. You need to really go draft day on this guy, on Daryl Morey. But what do you think of that 3-team deal right there?
I'm doing it in a heartbeat, Rudy. I'm not even thinking about it. Done.
And Mario says the Bucks get screwed there. In a way, yes. In a way, no. Because you got Paul George, who's not playoff P. He's injury P, pretty much.
No.
Get a number 3.
He's podcast P.
He's podcast. Wow. Podcast P. I'm. You know what? We're gonna run with that, man. Should we run with that?
Well, everybody says podcast P.
Podcast P. So I get what Mario's saying that the Bucks get screwed here, but not really, because that number 3 pick, Mario, is Ace Bailey. They can use it to trade down again and get somebody else, including the pick. That number 3 pick for Milwaukee is going to look very sexy next to Paul George and Dame Lillard once he comes back. Plus, they can keep Bobby Portis. I mean, they can even go out and re-sign Brook Lopez. They'll have a lot of cap space for it. So, I mean, not the cap space, but they'll be able to do it. Put it that way. I kind of like this move, and I'm with you. I think they do it. It's a win-win for a lot of teams here, for all of them here.
No, I mean, Rudy, if you can give me Fox, Giannis, and Wemby, oh man, the Spurs arena going to be sold out every night, and they're going to make that new arena as fast as they can, Rudy. Was that approved, Rudy, by the way? I think it was, right? Is it approved yet?
I don't live in San Antonio. I live outside of San Antonio.
Yeah, Rudy's bougie now, but yes.
I live on the outskirts of San Antonio. No, I think it's approved-ish, if I'm not mistaken. They're trying to come up with they're basically going to raise a tax on one of the tourist things, or something like that. I'm going to ask Jeff. Jeff has all the inside scoop on that, but it's pretty much a done deal, man. It's a done deal for Project Marvel, so I would say that. But, I mean, Giannis, Fox, Castle, Wemby, that's kind of what everybody was excited for to begin with. I mean, you knew you would have to give up number 2 in order to get Giannis.
Listen, I like Harper, and I like whoever the Spurs would pick at that spot, but you got a chance to get Giannis in his legit prime. It's really a no-brainer for me. And yeah, Wemby health obviously is a big factor, but really, could you say they're winning more than 50 games next season?
With that lineup?
55? I mean,
conservatively, I'd say 49.
Okay. I mean, that's fair.
49, 50, but I'm more 48, 49 with Giannis right there. The West is still way too tough, dude. It's still a tough side. So I think 49 would be really, really the number that I go with when it comes to the Spurs winning next year with that lineup right there. Yeah, that's what it is. Something like funding to look for funding type of approval. So they got to fund something, use that funding to fund the other part of the funding for whatever. It's something like that when it comes to Project Marvel.
Really, I want to say one other rumor mill that I saw, and I forgot to mention this. I don't know how this would look, but I was looking on some social media site, and they say, the Spurs should try to go after Sabonis over there in Sacramento. And I thought,
wonder if they heard that before.
I thought that wouldn't be a bad mix either. That guy does a little bit of everything. But no, he would be interested in a Spurs uniform. I think now already the Spurs fans are all putting up any trade. I mean, if they can go get Shaq right now, they would. You know what I'm saying? It's like any type of guy that's out there, the Spurs fans are going in there and they're trying to figure out, hey, what makes the most sense? Is it possible already the Spurs don't do absolutely nothing this offseason?
I feel that if KD doesn't happen, they are going to do absolutely nothing. They're going to ride with the team that they have. And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so, I guess, is what it is.
I get a feeling that's going to piss
hell yeah.
That's going to piss off a lot of Spurs fans, really, if they don't absolutely do anything, really.
Again, a team that was 5 games out of being a play-in team, you're going to have a full season of De'Aaron Fox. I mean, you're going to make up those 5-6 games already. So, I don't know, man. I mean, would I be mad? Of course not. I'm not going to be mad. Sports isn't. I lived after blowing a 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl. I can live with the Spurs being on the rise. So, I mean, when the hell? I hope this is one of your friends. Shoot, man, I'm a little late. Did they already kiss? What the fuck? I have no idea. I have no idea who that is, man. I'm
not sure who that is. That's not none of my friends.
I don't know about that, man. Giannis is near 0 chance of KD falls through. Would you be happy, and how does Spurs make a move to get come on? What would they do? Would they do it? So I think he's talking about come on Malak out of Duke. I like it. I mean, if they can make a move for him, I definitely think they do. But again, if there's no big time free agent here, what do you think, Gio? You riding with this team?
Sounds like I do think you try to explore Lauri Markkanen. Utah really look. I know Danny Ainge is going in a kind of a weird direction over there, but I assume that Lauri is probably available for the right price. And if I'm San Antonio, huh?
What about Jaylen Brown?
We have talked about him. Boston already. They got to figure out something in Boston, because I'm assuming, not paying the luxury tax again.
They don't want to. New ownership.
So someone's going to be going. I mean, Porzingis with the Spurs, I mean, it's okay. Jaylen Brown, I mean, obviously Tatum's probably untouchable, I assume. So Jaylen Brown, to me, makes the most sense. But if the Kevin Durant trade doesn't fall through, if I'm the Spurs, you still try to put the best product out there. Lauri Markkanen, I know Sabonis. Hey, I mean, listen, whoever you get, just try to improve this team, because I get a feeling Spurs fans, really, they don't do absolutely nothing but sign a water boy off the street. It's not going to be good in San Antonio when the season opens.
I would hopefully that
train wreck
not next year at all, man. I got a new drop in here. What the hell? I couldn't even remember what this is.
Shut your mouth, you thong wearing fatty.
Oh shit! Okay, there you go. That Rock was talking to you, man. So now I can think of. I remember what the actual one was. Mark Gavasa, if you can think of something that is under the radar that no one is talking about that's going to happen in the Spurs trade, you got it under the radar. I know before it was all reported, I know we had mentioned Jaylen Brown as being an option because Boston has to get under the luxury tax. They don't want to pay it. We mentioned it again tonight. You mentioned Markkanen. Kessler is another one that's available from Utah. John Collins is another one available from Utah. Is there anybody else out there? I got a couple, but they're not big time names at all. So if you got a couple like me, I've been talking about Domantas Sabonis for a little while.
Yeah, I mean, I would go Lauri Markkanen. I think last season really was some rumblings, or last year, should I say. I would go, I like Lauri a lot. I think he would fit perfectly in this system, Rudy. Mm-hmm. I think it's something that no one's really talking about. I think you go after him. Sabonis is another guy who I love his game. He is a betting genius when it comes to just putting bets on him because he does everything. If you can get a guy like that, Rudy, who does a little bit of everything, who could score, who can at times defend to a certain extent, playmakers, I would love any of those two guys. Jaylen Brown, obviously, hey, he's Jaylen Brown. But those two guys, I think, under the radar, I think the Spurs would be interested if those teams are willing.
I really think so. And, for me, I was mentioning a guy like Vujicic who would fit perfect next to...
He's another one as well, yes.
Wembanyama is another guy to look out for. Also, keep an eye on the fire sale that's not being reported.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time on a fancy water bottle with ultra titanium alloy metal. You're not sure why you need all that. I mean, it just holds water. But you're getting it anyway. Because if you're hiking near an active volcano and you accidentally drop the bottle into molten lava, your water will still be icy cold. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time for water bottles. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
What is going on in Toronto? They're looking to move pieces. Now, I don't want Scotty Barnes, but I will take me some Jakob Poeltl.
You wouldn't take Scotty Barnes, Rudy?
I would not take Scotty Barnes. No. I think Scotty Barnes is damn near close to being super overrated, to be honest with you.
Rudy?
Yeah.
Really?
I think so. I have not calling him overrated yet, but he's getting there.
I like his game.
I like his game, but I mean, is he the best player on that team? Probably not. Would you take RJ Barrett over Scotty Barnes?
RJ Barrett made a pretty good year.
Hell yeah, he did. Hell yeah. If I'm Toronto, if I'm Spurs, I'm looking at Jakob Poeltl from Toronto. That's definitely one that I'm looking at here. Outside of that, it's very hard. I'm going to throw a name out there. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody mentions it, especially when it comes to the Spurs. That, again, is a perfect fit. Jared Allen is on the block. And they've got to move him. You
Jared
need
Allen.
a rim protector right next to Wemby who can play in the post.
I hate to bring betting, but that man has screwed me out in so many freaking tickets.
It's always about betting with you.
No, it's Jared Allen, dude. He's had games where he'll have 8 rebounds in one half, and then the next half, he doesn't do anything. But anyway, I like Jared Allen. It'd be interesting how they would match up with Wemby. Obviously, Wemby's not even in the post anyway, so it doesn't even matter. But really, to have those type of quote-unquote the new look Twin Towers in a sense,
be nice.
Wouldn't be a bad.
Wasn't Jared Allen a Longhorn? I think he was. So why? I don't mind going from one Longhorn to the other. Durant to Allen probably wouldn't cost a whole bunch.
Mario, what drugs are you taking? Because I don't want that guy near any of our team.
Okay, if you could get Joel Embiid for literally nothing as a rental, you wouldn't play with the idea? Former MVP, a player that, can obviously spread the floor, can play in the post. Yeah, he cries more than a toddler. But, on a rental, you wouldn't kick the tires on that?
Nah, I don't know.
What if it just cost you a couple of first round picks and not even now, like maybe in 2030?
I'll say this. If I can get, this is the problem with that. The man's always hurt.
Yeah.
Or he goes into camp not in very good shape. 50 games?
But what more would you need out of him? At this point,
I need him in the playoffs, Rudy.
And that's what I'm saying. So you have him rested for the playoffs.
I heard in your voice, it's not going to work out, Rudy. Though I think a hell of a talent. If healthy, that man, he can play. He can play. but I just don't see it. It always hurt.
That says Sam's like, nah, we already regrettably have Sohan. Yeah. It's funny because before I know we got to go, but it was funny they show the Sohan shooting 3-pointers, and of course it's in the gym. He's by himself. Everybody's excited because he's knocking down 3-pointers. I'm like, come on. Like, how many times have we talked about it, Gio? Ben Simmons looks like Steph Curry in a YMCA.
Isn't he finally a free agent, Rudy?
He's finally a free agent.
And man, where do you think he lands?
Central Catholic High School? I don't know. I mean, I know a team's going to throw money his way, but at this point, do you even want to sign Ben Simmons? I mean, if you do, you're probably just filling out a roster. That's it.
I think he's a good role. I think he'd be a decent role player, but that's it.
Anyone can make 3-pointers at Clark High School. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everybody's a shooter in an open gym. You can shoot. Other than that, man, you got any last words before we go? I think we're going to be off tomorrow. I know we'll be back next week. Normally we take Fridays off, but we'll see.
Go Pacers.
Oh, geez.
I'm still a Spurs fan. Die hard, always sticking through, but you can't just. It would be a great feeling to see the Pacers win an NBA Finals. As I said earlier, cut the head off the snake. If you're listening, Pacer players, they got to go in there with business. Business. If they find a way to win Game 4, they'll be in the driver's seat.
Yeah, that is true. And Mario says, Happy Father's Day, fellas. Happy Father's Day to you and all the fathers out there, man. Appreciate everybody who is joining us earlier today. We did go on early, and I feel bad, Gio. We got to do another hour because Joel just came on. Joel, we went live at 8 o'clock, man. And
we're talking about the Cowboys and the Falcons.
We brought up a lot of stuff, man. Joel's just hopping on, man. Yeah, we actually went on at 8 o'clock today. We had a brand new show debut at 7, so we went on right after that one. But you got the replay, brother. I know you're always a supporter. We appreciate everything you do for us here at Sweep the League, Joel. Appreciate everybody that's joined us here tonight for us on Sweep the League. Father's Day's coming up. Got your fathers out there, man. Give them a hug. Buy them whatever they want. Treat them good. If you're a father yourself, then barbecue. Make your own barbecue. Take care of yourself.
What they want to add, Rudy,
what's up?
The college football game's coming out next month, and I'm thinking we should do another giveaway like we did last season.
Oh, yeah. College football, was it 25 or 26?
It was 25 last year. This year is 26. And we had a pretty good response from that tweet last year.
We did. We really did.
I probably need to get back on old Twitter.
Yeah, you need to. You need to get out on Twitter, and we'll give out a copy of College Football 26 coming out here pretty soon. We'll do it like we did last year. We'll give one lucky winner a free copy of College Football 26. Joel says, I'm not getting notifications. I'm going to DM you here as soon as I'm done, Joel. I'll see what's going on and what's working out on there, because notifications should be working. But if not, I'll shoot you a DM and I'll let you know what I'm going to do for you right now, brother. Appreciate everybody joining us here again. Happy Father's Day to everybody out there. It is Coach Gio for Derek Irvin, Rudy Campos Jr., for everybody that's involved with Sweep the League. Shout out to Sith the Lord Elias. He's going to be on his show talking Sith, Jacob, Eric, and Anthony with Grading the Market on Saturdays at 1 p.m. So for everybody a part of Sweep the League, until we sweep the league again, we'll see you later, knuckleheads. Are you looking for a contracting company that gets the job done right the first time? Look no further than MCS General Contracting. MCS specializes in top quality concrete work, including patios, driveways, foundations, and swimming pools. The team of experts are dedicated to delivering exceptional results and unparalleled customer satisfaction. At MCS General Contracting, they're not just hardworking, they're local. Based in San Antonio, they are committed to building relationships and trust within the community. That's why MCS guarantees your satisfaction. They pride themselves on getting the job done right the first time, every time. So why wait? Contract MCS General Contracting today to schedule your project and experience the difference for yourself. MCS General Contracting, building a better San Antonio, one project at a time. Proud sponsors of Sweep the League.